Hi, everybody. My name is Deborah Jackson, and I represent Harabid Incorporated, which is Deborah spelled backwards. I currently live in Charlotte, North Carolina, which is where Harabid is based, and I'm originally from New Orleans, Louisiana. Now, I'm thrilled to be able to share my experience about Marshawn Evans and the Speak for Pay conference that we did a couple of months ago, what I got from that conference and now post conference. But I will tell you this. I have to go back a little bit and say that I initially met Marshawn in Baltimore, Maryland. She was a keynote speaker for the National Sales Network meeting. And it was there that I recognized that I wanted to attend one of Marshawn's live events that would likely be the branding boot camp. Only I had a personal emergency come up with family and I wasn't able to do it. And I was fortunate that Marshawn's team was able to work out for me to be able to have first dibs on using that missed opportunity to be able to participate in something that was coming down the road. And I want to say it might have been 4 months away. So Speak for Pay had not fully been established yet, at least to the public, and it certainly had not been marketed yet. I didn't even really know if I wanted a Speak for Pay type boot camp. What I wanted was the branding boot camp. But I wanted Marshawn. I didn't want anything in his place. I wanted live Marshawn. And so I moved forward. Well, a couple of months ago, I attended Speak for Pay, and it has literally transformed it always starts in mindset. I focus on clarity in people in what I do as a speaker and a catalyst. But it all starts with mindset. It always does. And within the first couple of hours, experiencing the energy of Marshawn, her young, amazing energy, and the energy and the sincerity of all the women and men that made a decision to go there and to experience Marshawn for 3 days was quite impressive to me. But within the first couple of hours, I made a very strong connection about living 80% in your skill versus 20% in your gift. And I get it, I understand it, but sometimes you need it mirrored back to you and you need to hear it from someone else. And so not only did I have an awareness that 80% of what I had been doing in the last year as an entrepreneur was living in my skill, and 20% of what I was doing was living in my gift. So I know the reason I was here and why I'm here and what I meant to do. But I was not depending on God in the right ways. Not the right ways, but I wasn't depending on Him in the way that I really want to be living in trusting in Him, which means living more in my gift and not in my skill and what I've learned to do so well. So within the first couple of hours, I had that realization. I even came up and I think I shared it with the group. And for me, it was a tremendous awareness and breakthrough moment because I think it began to transform my entire mindset about where I was going to be spending my energy. And I wanted my energy to be reliant on God and not necessarily reliant on myself. And sometimes we forget that when we're in our purpose, it's not at all about us. And so that brings me to my second point, which I have to say is about Marshawn, not just Speak for Pay. It's Speak for Pay because I was at Speak for Pay, but Marshawn is the common thread that flows through every conference, be it a branding conference or a Speak for Pay conference. So Marshawn does such an incredible job of living number one in her gift while it's accentuating her skill, that whether you're in a Speak for Pay conference or a branding boot camp, you receive almost the benefit of all of it. And she pours 300% of herself out on the table for every individual that comes forward, for every breakout that we have, for every chart that she brings up on stage to teach. She's pouring out her energy, her time, her experience, her expertise, her spirit, her spiritual knowledge, all of it to make one whole experience, which for me made it very difficult at times to even write because I didn't want to miss what I needed to soak up spiritually in order to gain what I needed intellectually. And that's I believe is a good problem to have, but it's one that I have to articulate in this video because it was so incredibly valuable for the mindset that I needed to walk away, and what clearly I needed for me to be better moving forward in my career as a speaker and a catalyst and an author. So that's the second thing, is Marshawn is seamless in her ability to live in her gift, exalt her skill, and marry all of it together so that you don't feel like you're missing 1 ounce of anything. In fact, you don't want to miss anything because it's just so much. So I just appreciated that so much about her. I don't think I've received it that way from anyone ever before. Thirdly, there were tangible things that I walked away with, and it was seamless throughout every day. There was not one day that was any better than another day. Each day was intense in its own right, and intense in a good way. Each day offered more than the last. Each hour offered more than the last. And quite frankly, you found yourself not wanting to be away from it. You just wanted to soak it all in. And I know she had to be exhausted, because I know I was exhausted experiencing it, but I still wanted more. But the third thing is the fact that I walked away with such tangible pearls. Number one, setting expectations very realistically about what to expect in the marketplace for a professional speaker when it comes to dollars and cents, when it comes to what types of talks need to be delivered in order to receive pay for speaking, to be seen as a professional speaker, being paid on the back end, and how to approach things on the introductory and the front end, in order to be seen as a professional speaker. The balance of all of that, it was just, it was seamless. And I walked away with not only a playbook of what to do and how to approach it, but just a technical understanding and the setting of real expectations of what to expect in the marketplace. And I don't know that that is being given in totality, in situations out there. I think, a lot of times we're made to believe that maybe sometimes things are easier than what they really are. Nothing good really comes easily. But Marshawn was very good at setting expectations and teaching us what to expect and what's real in the marketplace. Not to mention the fact that we all received some kind of credentialing from the 3 intensive days we spent in Speak for Pay. So it just, not only did you receive spiritual and soulful dividends, but tangible dividends to actually walk away, things that I'm using today in order to continue to advance my career as a speaker and author and a catalyst as well. Even how to relaunch coaching programs so that they are saleable coaching programs, but that meet a need for your clients, and not necessarily just consume all your energy where you feel like you're not getting a return on investment. So I can't say enough. There's certainly more than I can say in 8 minutes is not enough, but I can at least wet your whistle with a little bit of what I've experienced on the front end, and now what I've experienced moving forward. I've had a number of new opportunities to come up in large part because of the mind shift that I experienced and the spirit shift that I experienced sitting at Marshawn's feet a couple of months ago. And I plan on doing that again and as many times as I am able moving forward. Marshawn is a pearl in this marketplace. She is a jewel. And for me, my grandmother used to always say, you hook your star to stars. And so, and I don't mean that in the literal sense, but I mean that in the purity sense. And so I don't think you can get much better, much purer, much more sincere than Marshawn Evans. And her boot camps, no matter which one it is, I think will change your whole life, not just your entrepreneurial life, but your entire life. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a blessed day. And Marshawn, I look forward to seeing you at your next boot camp and even outside of that at some point. But take care, and Operation Relax, keep going. It takes a lot to recover from what you poured out to us even a couple of months ago. Take care, everybody.